Come back to another exciting day in mathematics. Warm-up number 22 should come up on your screen as soon as you log in. Once again, we're working on standard deviation bell curve, and also I want to see how well you do with the different type of variables. So let's get that warm-up done. I'll give you guys about 8 minutes, 8 minutos. Go. 6.2, hands if you got 6.2 for the mean. No? I see disturbance in the force. 2, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12. Let's see, 20, 30, 41, 43. 43 divided by 6, that's 7. 7.1, hands if you got 7.1. Come on, people. I didn't even have a calculator. 7.1. All right. From there, standard deviation. Let's see what you get for standard deviation. Let's go with Sean. What'd you get? Yes. You're still what? Oh, okay. Help him out, Ethan. Yeah, the altogether standard deviation. 7.7, 10.7. All right, seems about right. Yes? No? Yes, maybe so. So is that the standard deviation or the second mean? Second mean. So then we take the square root. So that should be what? 3 point what? 3.27 approximately. So therefore we are at 10.37 on the up. On the down we are at 3.93. Is it? 3.83, I think. Check my math. That roll back. All right, so according to the context, it says 6 students were asked how many hours of sleep they got. Here are their numbers. The norm is from 3.83 to 10.37. Tell your neighbor what that means. What would be your conclusion? Conclusion. All right, let's go with Drew. What would be your conclusion? Thank you. Two and 12 are not in the sleeping norm. And if you conclude with that, yes? Agree? Yeah. Go to number 2. Classify the variable, nominal, ordinal, interval, or ratio. When selecting a valedictorian or salutatorian, schools look at all grades from elementary to high school and compute the GPA for each candidate. Tell your neighbor what kind of variable that is. What kind of variable that is. All right, let's go with Lolly. What kind of variable is that? Help her out, Camila. What kind of variable that is? There's four of them: nominal, ordinal, interval, or racial. Let's go back to Lolly. Lolly, go. Ordinal, that would be incorrect. Let's see, Adam. Interval. Why? Because this one does need specific ranking. So when you are selecting your valedictorian, salutatorian, it's specific. All right, let's move on. Send me your warm-up, please. And copy the agenda. Warm-up number 22 is done. We're in the middle of statistics and probability. Tonight's home play 7 problem data sampling methods. Today we are moving on. We are moving on. All right. Once you're done copying the agenda, come get an index card from over here from on top of my desk. Go. I'll give you some time. All right. Pretty good. Yes. All right. Copy this code to access the home play. 3LQKH. Write that down. 3LQKH. 3LQKH. All right. Last night's home play was that. You already turned it in yesterday on Canvas. Tonight's home play looks like this. Oh, yeah, we got this. All right, get a Cornell note ready, please. I can identify data sampling methods. I can identify data sampling methods. I can identify data sampling methods. All right, so I heard for statistics is science, numbers, data collection. At the end, I want to hear conclusion. Yes? And once again, reminder, put away those mobile devices or I'm going to take them away. I'm trying to reach that point where I'm getting you back to class. Some of you are still outside of here. Come back, please. Are we good? All right. So, today we're going to be looking at data sampling methods. Yes? So, before we get started with the data sampling methods, we talked about statistics. We said it was a science, data collection, and conclusions. Now, when they collect data from you guys, there's a lot of different ways they collect data from you guys. Now, specifically for you, they use your applications. When you sign up for an application, any app that you use, if you're on TikTok, Bebop, or whatever it is you use, they have data on you consistently. All right? However, there are three most common types of data collection, and it's called surveys. The three types that are most common are mail questionnaire. You guys probably get that in the mail. When you go to the mail, there's sometimes stuff that says, return this, you get something. Or who's gotten those envelopes where they send you $2, actual $2? Anybody got those before? Anyways, they send you $2 for you to fill out an application, not an application, a survey. The other method is known as telephone. So you get calls from time to time from spam or random numbers. They want to collect data. And the third most common one is known as personal interview. For those of you that go to the mall, sometimes there are people with clipboards and they're like, excuse me, can I ask you a couple of questions? That's the type of survey. So on your notes, copy that, please. Surveys, mail questionnaire, telephone, and personal interview, the most common ones. Write that down, please. So, once again, to collect data, the first thing they use is surveys. What are the three most common types? Mail questionnaire, by telephone, and personal interview. Those are the three most common. Are there more? Yes. From time to time, you get some text messages that ask you questions for you to answer. Don't answer because sometimes they have spam in it. Also, another way that they get to you is by accepting applications on your cell phone. Okay? Now, another way to collect data is what we call data sampling methods. There's four types. Don't write these down yet. Random sampling. The other called systematic sampling. Another one's called stratified sampling. And one more is called cluster sampling. Those are the four types. Now, I'm not going to give you definitions because it does mean nothing or you nothing just to write down stuff and just kind of memorize it. I want you to understand what it is. And once again, this course, statistics, I don't know if you noticed, we've been focusing on concepts other than numbers. Does that make sense so far? All right. So, in order to understand these 4 types of data sampling methods, sampling, hence the word sample, which is a smaller portion than the whole population, I'm going to go through an exercise really quick. So, you have your index card, yes? All right, I'm going to assign you a number. You're going to write a big number on that index card with a number I assign to you. Are we there? Here it goes. Ready? I'm going to start over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're writing your number on your index card with big numbers. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, and 34. All right, write it down on your index card. You got your number? All right, make sure it's in big numbers. All right. Y'all ready? All right, here we go. Focus, please. So this is what's going to happen to get started. Okay? I'm going to show you what cluster sampling is. Then you're going to come up with a definition. Okay, so pay attention. Okay, here it goes. So at this point, I'm going to use the entire class. Okay, but I'm going to ask you to get up, and I want dark shirts to go to the right, light shirts to go to the left. Do that right now. Please take your index card with you. Dark shirts to the right, or sweater. My right, yeah. Light shirts to the left, my left. Light shirts to my left, dark shirts to my right. All right, so I just went over step 1 of cluster sampling. Think about it. That's step 1. Step 2, I'm going to take a sample method, but I'm going to use one of the groups. I'm going to use, oh wait, I'm waiting for them to move. All right, we good? All right, you know what? I'm going to use their group. Give me your index cards. Index cards? Yeah, all of y'all. All right, so step 1, step 2, step 3. When I call your number, come over here with me. 17. 22. Over here. 13. 6. 32. And I'll stop at 19. All right, so I'm only going to use this small group here to get data. So, before we move on, think about the 3 steps that I just did. And if you were to explain to someone, what is cluster sampling? Talk to other neighbors, please. What is cluster sampling? How do you do cluster sampling? Talk to your neighbors. Well, all right. So, if you notice, what is the first thing I did? We got them into what? Groups. Second, I only selected a selected few, which I did what? What is that called when I didn't even look at the numbers? I just switched it up and what? Random, okay? And then once I selected the random numbers, I used that to data sample, okay? What we just did is stratified. Number 3, stratified. Stratified sampling, okay? Now check this out. If I was to use cluster sampling, step 1, there you go. Step 2, I would say all this light shirt group, go sit down. And I'm going to use this time all the dark shirt group. So give me your index cards. Thank you. 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 All right, dark shirts, I'm going to use all of you to collect data, all of you. So, cluster sampling, step 1. Step 2, all right? So, talk to your neighbor, let them know what cluster sampling was. Right now, what I just did. What did I do for cluster sampling? All right, before that, what is the difference between cluster and stratified? What did we do on the previous one with the other ones? Yeah, right now with cluster. The previous one that I used with the lighter shirts was stratified. All right, have a seat, guys. Let's talk about it so we can write that down. Start with number 4, cluster sampling. What is the first thing we did, Nick? Before that. After that. Separate into groups. Yes, that is correct. Then what do we do? What did we do right now at the end? What did I do? Made one group sit down because I was only going to use what? One group. So use only one group. Now, for the last part, for the dark shirts, did I only select some of them? No. So this one would be period. And that's how we collect data, just from one group. Now, what is stratified? Before I had them sit down. Again, separate into groups. Then what? select one group. But what did I do specifically with that one group? Tell your neighbor, what did I do? Camila, what did I do for that one group? So I asked you guys for your index cards, and what did I do next? Ooh. Then select random numbers. That is correct. That's the only difference between cluster. Cluster, you go with the entire group, one of the groups, whereas stratified, you go with one of the groups, but then you select randomly from within that group. All right. Next, I'm going to do systematic. Y'all ready? Here it goes. This time you don't have to get up. I got your cards here. Ready? Here's my system. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Talk it over your neighbor. Let them know what I'm doing. What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay. Let me do a second example just to make sure we got it. Here goes 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so definition. Think about it. Tell your neighbor, if you were to explain to someone, what is systematic sampling? Systematic sampling, what would you say? Create a system. Okay, hold on. Create a system. Select a certain number, and in parentheses you can put the third or fourth or so on of your stack. So your system would be selecting like the seventh, every seventh, every third. It's still random, but you have a system now in place. All right, let's go with the last one, random sampling. Here it goes. Tell your neighbor what I'm doing. Just random. So this one is select data randomly. Randomly, parentheses, no particular system. Pretty straightforward, yes? All right. So let's see how we did. Y'all ready? Look up to the screen. I'm going to use the state of California. There it is. The state of California is divided into counties. Are we there? From there, I'm going to use the entire Imperial County to send out a survey to see who goes to Jack in the Box. All right, tell your neighbor what kind of data sampling that is. What kind of data sampling is that? All right. Looks like Val's got it. Good. Rebecca's got it. All right, let's go with Mia. Mia, what kind of data sampling is that? Cluster, hands if you agree with that. That is correct. We divided the state into counties, and I used the entire Imperial County. All right, let's move on. Here we go. Look up. Example number 1. Don't copy this. It says, what kind of sampling is being used? Out of 16 school districts in Imperial Valley, 1 was selected to collect records for 1 school day on the number of referrals issued for the day. So let me repeat that again. Out of the entire Imperial Valley, there are 16 school districts. 1 school district is selected to find out how many referrals were given. Talk to your neighbor. What kind of sampling is that? What kind of sampling? All right. I think Lolly's got this one. Lolly, go. Said stratify. Are they using random? No, so then this is cluster. Cluster. Once again, the entire valley, they divide it into districts, and you use an entire district. Look at this one. Problem number 2. Mr. Shaw divides a group of students that are making 2 lines in the cafeteria by height, then by GPA. Then selects a handful from each group. A handful. Talk to your neighbor, let them know what kind of data sampling is that. All right, let's go with Jake. What kind of sampling is that? Stratify is correct. You first make the groups, then only select some from each. All right, let's move on. Next one, number 3. At El Centro Costco, every 10th family-sized Dorito bag is selected to measure if the content net weight is accurate. The purpose is to see if the Dorito packing machine is working properly. You tell your neighbor what kind of data sampling is that. Yeah, you're systematic. That is correct because it's every 10th. So far, so good? All right, next. It says, number 4, Mr. Q concealed the names of his students on Nearpod, so I can change and make it concealed, but I wrote index cards for you. Then uses the index cards to randomly select a small group to answer questions. Talk it over to your neighbor. What kind of sampling is that? So with Kayla, what kind of sampling is this? Random is correct. Yeah, so I just randomly start pulling cards and asking questions. So do me a favor. I want you to copy this one in your notes. Where is it at? This one, number 1. At least you can have one example on your notes. Write that down. Out of 16 school districts in Imperial Valley, 1 was selected to collect records for 1 school day on the number of referrals issued for the day. Write that down, please. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. So, before we move on and have you guys get started with your home plate on your screen, I want you to write me in your own words, what is cluster sampling? In your own words, type it in there. What is cluster sampling? What is cluster sampling? Type it in there, please. All right. All right, really quick, explain it to your neighbor. What did you write? What is cluster sampling? Tell your neighbor. What is cluster sampling? All right. We good? All right, thank you. Next. Next screen. Look up. On your screen it says, write an example of each. I don't want an example of each. I want you to write me an example of systematic sampling. Type it in there. Make up an example. What would be a systematic sampling example? Type it in there. Systematic. Thank you for your responses. I see some of you wrote creating a system and going based off that system. Some of you wrote out of a deck of cards, we are adding the numbers of every fifth. Okay, thank you. And so on and so forth. Creating a system and picking a random number. All right. Thank you. Next. Look at this one. Look up to the screen. What are the most common type of surveys that we started our session with? You'll look at your notes. What are the 3 most common type of surveys? Tell your neighbor. 3 most common type of surveys. All right, looks like Maddie's got it. Very good, Maddie. All right, give us one. Elijah, give us one. What would be one type of survey? Telephone. Hands if you got telephone. All right, we need another one. Let's go with Val. One more. Personal interview. Okay, so phone, personal interview. We need one more. One more. Let's go with Anessa. Mail questionnaire. And if you just want to add more to that, with apps, they also collect data. All right, so with that said, your home plate for tonight, you should have plenty of time to finish here in class. Let me send that to your screen. You may work with someone else to finish that up. And those of you following on YouTube, make sure you get your practice in. See you guys next time. Peace.